Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Back with another live show. It's a new week. We're expecting more deals to get done this week, and also deals to be announced. So another big week expected. We have updates on Gyokeres, on Sesko, on Trossard, on Martinelli. Which one is going to leave between them? Both of them are they going to stay? Both of them are they going to leave? It's a lot of things to decide on in this Arsenal team. But first, let's start with Gyokeres. That's the biggest news, obviously, since yesterday. And this is what Sam C has had to report. You have a lot of updates on Gyokeres. Starting with Sam C. Viktor Gyokeres is expected to be an Arsenal player in the next few days, barring any complications, in a deal anticipated to be worth more than 65 million. So we went through that yesterday. It's going to be 56 million up front, and then the rest in add-ons. So it's going to be a total package of almost 65 million. And for me, I think that is a very, very good deal. When we first got linked to Viktor Gyokeres, I was thinking, hey, we can pay like 80 million for him. I'd be very, very happy with that, because this is a striker who has been scoring a bunch of goals, been contributing to a bunch of assists over the last 2-3 years. Even before that with Coventry, has been very, very, very good. So this is the player I would have loved to pay all that money for. So for 65 million, I think it's a no-brainer. I also didn't expect it to be this easy for us to get him. I thought that a lot of teams would be flooding in for him, but I guess either we had already really communicated with him and decided that he was going to be the one. The player, very, very important. The player had decided that he wants to join Arsenal. He's been saying he wants to join Arsenal since a long time ago. His friends have been texting him and on a podcast and all, and telling him, hey, tell us when you join Arsenal. So it's definitely something that he has been talking about for a long time, at least for this year, I'd say. And we are going to get him. Hopefully we are going to get him. And in terms of wages, it's going to be around 200,000 per week. Again, very, very good 5-year contract. Is just getting into his prime right now. Super excited to see how Gyokeres does at Arsenal. So I am confident this deal will be done this week. We also have an update on players coming back to preseason. We'll talk about that one later. But yeah, preseason is getting closer and closer. Training is about to commence. So we want a striker to be there before preseason even starts. That's the one position that we really wanted someone to be there before the preseason starts. So I don't expect any complications at all. Obviously, Sporting will be a little bit tougher in accepting the deal, but I'm sure we are going to get it done. So that is what Sam C has had to say. We are going to get the deal done in the next few days. What about Fabrizio? Fabrizio says that there was new contact last night between Arsenal and Sporting to try accelerate and close the deal for Viktor Gyokeres, but Sporting are still not accepting the final details of the proposal. It doesn't mean it's over. It's part of the negotiations. Obviously, they're not just going to say, yes, give us the 65 million, that we're going to take it. Obviously, you have to do negotiations on the add-ons and all that. I'm sure right now it's all about the add-ons as well, because they want achievable add-ons. They want us to say, if you win the Premier League, you're going to give us more money for Gyokeres. They don't want us to say, if we win both the Premier League and the Champions League, you're going to get more money for Gyokeres. They want the add-ons to be realistic. Sporting are insisting on 70 million euros fixed fee, while Arsenal was starting at 65 million plus add-ons. That is not a big margin, to be honest. I'm sure that will be done. This reminds me of the Declan Rice one. This one will be done very soon. The situation is getting tense with the player because Gyokeres only wants to go to Arsenal. And shout out to Gyokeres, man. He wants to join Arsenal. He's using his own money to push for the move to Arsenal. Fantastic. In the recent hours, Gyokeres again told Sporting and their president that he wants to go to Arsenal. He will not show up for training. He will not play for Sporting anymore. My goodness, this guy does not want to be at Sporting at all. I don't know why it always has to end this way with many players. Just I guess they went back with their gentleman's agreement. Like, if you just agree with the player that is going to leave, there's literally no need of it getting to this point where he doesn't want to play for the team, where, all of that, and the fans start hating the player. It's just a big deal out of nothing, when the player had already agreed that he's going to leave, and he had already agreed that he's going to leave the very next summer. I don't know why it had to get to that point, but that is none of my business as long as he joins Arsenal. To fulfill his dream of going to Arsenal, Gyokeres is giving up 2 million from his salary package to facilitate the negotiations. He's putting that money from his own pocket to the Arsenal bid to Sporting. Gyokeres is pushing like crazy. That is from Fabrizio Romano. The guy is removing his own money to make sure that he's going to join Arsenal, which is absolutely crazy. He's already a fan favorite. He's not even an Arsenal player yet. But those things that he's doing is pushing for an Arsenal move. Again, he could easily have said, I want to go to Man United. My former manager is there, Players like Bruno Fernandes have moved from Sporting to United and succeeded. Players like Cristiano Ronaldo have moved from Sporting to Man United and succeeded. He could easily have said, I'm also going to go to Man United from Sporting. I'm sure I'm going to succeed there. But no, he said, I do not want to go there. He could easily have chosen Chelsea. We've not heard anything about that as well. He could easily have said, I don't want to join Arsenal. I'm going to wait until, a Real Madrid comes in, a PSG comes in for me, a Bayern Munich comes in for me, a Barcelona, because players like Lewandowski and Kane are not going to be there forever. He could easily have said, maybe next year, one of those teams are going to sign me, but he wants to join Arsenal. And he's been very confident, and he's really pushing for us to get him. Now, again, we don't know what has been happening behind the scenes. Maybe we thought Arsenal really wanted Sesko, but they really wanted Gyokeres instead, and they were using Sesko to get Gyokeres. Or maybe they're using Gyokeres to get Sesko. We don't know. I would like to have a meeting with Andrea Bata about that and ask him, who did you guys really want? Or did you actually want both? Was it all about, who was going to be cheaper, who was going to allow you to, who was going to allow to sell quicker? Or how was it going to be? So that is from Fabrizio Romano. A lot of updates from that. So we had more contact yesterday with Sporting and Gyokeres, so that's what I'm expecting to be done in the next few days, hopefully this week. Fabrizio also says the situation between Viktor Gyokeres and Sporting is getting tense, and in the last few hours, the striker has reiterated that he only wants to go to Arsenal and he will refuse to turn up to training or play for the Portuguese side. CNN Portugal. This is what reports are saying from Portugal. Viktor Gyokeres is ready to fly to England, and the striker has started checking in his luggage. When the Arsenal entourage left Lisbon, they were almost completely aligned with Sporting. So that is from updates from Portugal. The Arsenal entourage were over there in Sporting, and as they were leaving, they were completely aligned with Sporting. So maybe we get a breakthrough later today or tomorrow, because yesterday we had that Fabrizio could easily give us a here we go as soon as yesterday. So maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we are going to get a here we go. And then after that, after we got that here we go and the confirmation from Hand of Arsenal and David Austin and all those guys, then it's going to be an Arsenal player. Then after that, you don't have to worry about it. At the moment, Gyokeres only wants to join Arsenal, so we don't have to worry at the moment about any other teams coming in for him. There's no one who's really coming for him right now. He's already, convinced about joining Arsenal. I mean, he's already given up his money to join Arsenal, so I doubt he would change right now and say, okay, I'm going to a Real Madrid. So he will be an Arsenal player. It's all about Arsenal and Sporting agreeing on everything, and we are finally going to see this celebration at the Emirates Stadium next season. I cannot wait to see him playing in the carpet, man. Just imagine Viktor Gyokeres playing in the carpet at the Emirates Stadium and getting, through passes from Saka and Odegaard and, crosses from the left side from players like Alaphia and Lewis Kelly. I cannot wait to see how Gyokeres does. All of a sudden, I'm so looking forward to next season, man. With Gyokeres and all these other players that we've been linked to, it's super exciting. So that is according to CNN Portugal, but there's more again. From Fabrizio, Viktor Gyokeres was agreed. Okay, we've already gone through that, but yeah, it's given up his the 2 million. But why are we so confident about getting Gyokeres? Now it's looking like the Benjamin Sesko deal is now completely done. So it's either we get Gyokeres or we don't get anyone. So according to reports from according to reports about Sesko, Benjamin Sesko will stay at Leipzig this season after Arsenal could not follow up the intensive interest, with the German side insisting on 90 million euros and further bonuses. It's not just 90 million euros. There's more. They wanted more bonuses on top of 90 million euros. So basically, we're talking 80 million pounds. And for Gyokeres, the total package will be around 65 million pounds. But for Sesko, the total package would have been around 85 million pounds. So there's a huge gap there in terms of money, and there's a huge gap in terms of valuation there. If Arsenal wanted to pay 65 million and these guys wanted 85, and if Arsenal wanted to pay 55 for Gyokeres or 65 and Sporting 170, there's a closer gap there. It's easier to cover that gap. So for Sesko, it's not looking like it's going to happen. Now, is it a good thing for Sesko? I don't know, because is he going to end up getting a different team next year? Is he going to score more goals next year and then a Barcelona comes in for him? You never know. Is he going to have a poor season next year and then he ends up staying at Leipzig again, or ends up, I've seen comments, people saying, he might end up at an Everton or all those other teams, and he was wanted by Arsenal and come and help us win the Premier League title and all of that. But hey, that's not our problem. It's whoever is to blame, whether it's Leipzig, whether it's Sesko, whether it's the agent. I'm hearing the agent was asking for too much money. The team is demanding too much money, so that did not happen, unfortunately for him. Again, we still don't know who we wanted more. Was it Gyokeres? Was it Sesko? I'd still like to know that. But if Gyokeres was a plan B, that is a very, very good plan B. For me, he was my plan A. But yeah, at least we are getting plan A, plan B, not plan C or plan D. I did not want us to end up doing that. So let's see what happens with Gyokeres the rest of today. And hopefully we get to hear we go as soon as today, or latest tomorrow. Hopefully we get to hear something on Viktor Gyokeres. Now that's the latest on Gyokeres and Sesko. Let's go to the next piece of news, and that is on Noni Madueke. According to Fabrizio, Arsenal are prepared to send an official bid to Chelsea for Noni Madueke very soon. Sources on both sides speak of different valuations for the player, but the good relationship between the clubs can help to try reach a compromise and get the deal done. Now, Chelsea want 50 million for Madueke. I think it would be crazy to give them 50 million for Madueke. I don't think Arsenal is going to give them 50 million for Madueke. But I'd not be surprised if Arsenal gave them 40, which is still too much. Like the most I would like to go is like 25 million or something. And he wouldn't even be on my list of players I would want to get. But the player really wants to join Arsenal. Another player who really, really wants to join Arsenal. Again, it's still weird because I don't know which position he's going to play. I mean, there's a World Cup next year. Does he just want to come and be a backup for Saka when there's a World Cup next year? He can play in a different team and play a lot of games and, maybe be ahead of Bowen, maybe be ahead of Palmer, maybe be ahead of Saka in the England team. But he actually wants to join Arsenal, and it was almost immediately. Like he was asked and he said, yes, I want to join Arsenal. And he's happy to keep the same salary he has, so 50,000 per week. That is what he would be paid if he ends up joining Arsenal. But there's a difference in value. Chelsea want 50 million, Arsenal don't want to pay that. So if Chelsea don't reduce the money, I think we're not going to get Madueke. If Chelsea agree to reduce the money, then I guess that deal will progress. But as of now, we've not agreed with Chelsea on anything. The player wants to join, but we haven't agreed on that yet. So yesterday, obviously, Fabrizio also said Noni Madueke is understood to be interested in Arsenal's vision and project, while Mikel Arteta approved his signing. The players agreed a 5-year contract, and he will maintain the same salary structure as he is now at Chelsea if the deal is to happen. Now, if we sign all of these players, I'm starting to worry about Martinelli and Trossard. I don't think both of them are just going to be attached with all of these players being here. I'd wish so. I'd wish us to have as many options as possible, Have Saka there, have Martinelli there, have Trossard there, have Eze there, have Rodrygo there, have Odegaard there, have Eze there, have Gyokeres there. I'd love to have all of those options. But yeah, the way it's going, we're hearing talks about Nwaneri and Martinelli and Trossard, you'd imagine that at least one of them is going to leave. Now, I don't think Nwaneri is going to leave, but there's a big chance either Trossard or Martinelli is going to leave. So it depends on how our finances are. I'm sure if you ask many Arsenal fans, I mean, let me ask you, if money was not an issue, who would you decide to sell between Martinelli and Trossard? If money was not a thing, who would you like to sell if you had to sell one of them today, Martinelli or Trossard? Now, the problem is money is an issue. Money is obviously an issue. So if we wanted to sign someone like Rodrygo and Eze, you'd have to get some money elsewhere. Where is the only position that we can get money, or the player that can give us money? It's going to be him. There's no one else unless we sell a Saka, we sell a Saliba. Those ones are not for sale. It's only really Martinelli that can get us 60 million or something. So it's a tough one. I would love to keep both of them at Arsenal, but I don't think it's going to happen. And Trossard is going to get us like 20 million. And Martinelli is going to get us like 60, 70. So there's a huge gap there. So let's go to that first. Let's talk about Trossard. Leandro Trossard could leave Arsenal this summer despite wanting to stay, and the Gunners may consider selling him for a fee in the region of 20 million euros. So he only has 1 year remaining on his contract. So we have to decide what we're doing with Trossard. Is he going to sign a new contract, a new 1 year deal or 2 year deal? Or are we going to sell him this summer, or are we going to sell him in January? Because, yeah, I also don't want us to lose Trossard for free next year. I don't think that's a good deal. So if you sell him today, it's going to be for like 17 million pounds, not more than that. So that's a tough one. The discussions are fluid under Edu Gaspar, but talks Andrea Batters and Ravel could change things. So the last 2 years, Trossard has been better than Martinelli. That is just the truth in terms of scoring and assisting. Trossard has been scoring more big goals than Martinelli and all that. But obviously, Martinelli is younger. Trossard is in his 30s and Martinelli is younger. In the next 2-3 years, maybe Trossard has retired. Martinelli is now getting into his prime. So there's a big difference there as well. But how good is Martinelli going to be in the next year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years? Is he going to, improve, or is he going to stagnate and stay in the same position that he is in, or is he going to, not be as good as he was 2-3 years ago by 2027? I think that is a gamble Arsenal will also have to decide what they're going to do with him. Are they going to just take the risk and let him go? Maybe it's going to turn out like Gnabry at Bayern Munich, and within the first 3-4 years at Bayern Munich he was absolutely incredible. Or is it going to turn out like the other players that we've sold? Not everyone that has left Arsenal has worked out, by the way. Actually, many of them that have left Arsenal, we never hear about them. Even players like Pepe, like we rarely hear about Nicolas Pepe, so they've not gone elsewhere and achieved a lot. Players like Lokonga, players like Tavares, and all those players, they've not really gone elsewhere and like lit up the place. No, we rarely hear about these players that have left Arsenal. So will Martinelli be the same, or will he go to a different place and then we hear he's scoring 25 goals in a season? We never know. But for Trossard, there's no guarantee he's going to stay. It might be him leaving. If money is not an issue, I think they're going to let go of Trossard because of the age and the contract expiring next year. But if money is an issue, then Martinelli, or maybe even they're going to consider selling both. Who knows? Depends on how many players we want to sign. According to Fabrizio and Gabriel Martinelli, understand reports about Gabriel Martinelli and Al Nassr are currently wide off mark. No talks taking place with Saudi Pro League side, as Al Nassr are now working on different targets at winger position. So they do want players like Luis Diaz over at Al Nassr. So we were told that Al Nassr are going to be, Ben Jacobs told us that Al Nassr would be willing to pay almost 70-80 million for Gabriel Martinelli. And a lot of people are like, yeah, if that is true, you have to take that money. But is that the case? Is Martinelli their first choice, or is Martinelli only a backup choice? Are we going to wait and, sell one of the wingers in August and not right now, really? Are we going to wait and see how they do in preseason first? Are we going to wait and see what happens with Rodrygo? I mean, I think it has to be the case, though. I mean, unless Rodrygo says, okay, I'm leaving Real Madrid, I want to join Arsenal, that's the only way you can say, okay, we are coming for you, Rodrygo, let us sell some players first. But I don't think you can sell Martinelli before knowing whether Rodrygo wants to leave. And Rodrygo is not a guarantee. The ball is not in our court. You cannot just say we are selling Martinelli and Trossard because we are getting Rodrygo. What if Rodrygo decides to stay at Real Madrid? Then who else do you go for? Because at that point, I'm assuming it's going to be mid-July or at the end of July. At that point, then maybe Lookman has signed a new contract at Atalanta. Maybe Gordon has moved to a different team. Maybe Liao has moved on to a different team. So you won't have those players to go to. So there's no guarantee that we are going to get Rodrygo. So you have to be really ready to. Basically, we can't sell Martinelli before confirming whether they're going to get a winger. So that cannot happen. And how many other wingers are there apart from those ones that I've mentioned? Is there any other winger that is going to really, really improve our team? I'm not sure. So that's the latest on Martinelli. Let's see. The next one is on. Do we have a next one? No, we don't have a next one. So that is Gabriel Martinelli and Trossard and Madueke and Sesko and Gyokeres. That is all the latest. Now, let's get to your comments. Gyokeres deal could be done this week. We're waiting for the Nørgaard medical to be done this week as well. He will be an Arsenal player this week. Obviously, Kepa and not Madueke. Kepa has been announced already. Hopefully, Gyokeres is announced this week sometime. And obviously, who else was announced? Zubimendi was announced yesterday. Really excited about Zubimendi as well at Arsenal. So let's see how that one goes. Let's see your comments. Let's see. Thank you, Ike. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Do this. Let's see. Is it a done deal? Not yet. I'd say 90% there. I'm very proud about Gyokeres. I'm waiting for Fabrizio. Here we go, says Ramsey. Hopefully get it as soon as possible. I'm happy for that deal for sure, says Philip. Waiting for the here we go, says Joseph. I do disagree with this, Munir. I do actually disagree with this. But if we get Gyokeres, I think us would have done the most business out of every team. So again, I said I'm not going to say anything about Bat until the end of the transfer window, because after this week, we could easily have Gyokeres at Arsenal, Zubimendi at Arsenal, a new deal for Gabriel, a new deal for Lewis Kelly, a backup goalkeeper done, a backup midfielder done. We could have, who's the next one? We could have Mosquera done. So I don't think we can say Arsenal is not serious, because by the end of the week, we could have Gyokeres and Zubimendi here. So, yeah, I think a lot of people would want Gyokeres in their teams. Let's see. Good afternoon to you, Kenneth. The happiness now coming. Let us keep on doing good projects, says the rapper Icon. Gyokeres, here we go, hopefully soon. Hussein, North London forever, says Ramses. Viktor Gyokeres is in the house, nothing. Victor is in the house, nothing. I just say congratulations, Gunners. Yeah, that would be a big deal, man. We've been looking for a striker for such a long time, and getting the best one that is available, it's rare. We got Rice when he was the best one available, but we rarely get like the best one that is available in the market. Hussein said he would sell Martinelli. Tanko says he'd sell Trossard. Philip says he'd sell Trossard. So it's a divisive topic. Obviously, some people think Martinelli is just not good enough. Sell him, take advantage of the money right now. Some people think Trossard is really good in terms of scoring goals off the bench and all that. Some people think Trossard is not good enough and is old and all that. Felix says signing Madueke is a complete joke. Let's just extend Noni contract and give him playing time. I see Gyokeres is already an Arsenal player. Not yet, but almost. When all of those journalists have confirmed it, yes. I would love us to give Noni a new contract as well. Obviously, I think Arsenal are going to give him a new contract. Now, it depends on whether Noni is going to sign it. I'd like to believe Noni would like to sign a new contract. I don't think there's a way Noni would want to leave Arsenal right now. I mean, I don't know. Unless if you sign all of these players and he just says, hey, I'm not going to get a lot of game time, then no. Signing Noni Madueke is not a bad idea if you ask me. And that's the very next comment. Funny, because you have a very slim squad and we need that squad depth if we want to win the league next season. Remember, the league is not a sprint but a marathon. We must be prepared on all sides. I'll ask you this though, Carlos. 50 million. Do you think it's worth it to pay 50 million for Madueke to come and be a backup for Saka? Or would you rather use that 50 million to get the other players that you've been into? Hi, Glenn. Good evening. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Musa, thank you for being here as always. I'm so happy to hear this news from Gyokeres to Arsenal. I can't wait to see this guy in the Arsenal jersey. Yeah, I cannot wait too as well. Jada says happy for Arteta. Bring the guy Gyokeres. A lot of people love Gyokeres. Emmanuel says after Gyokeres, tell me something about Eze. For Eze, we were told that Arsenal, the player wants to join Arsenal, but Arsenal want to complete these other deals fast, and they're going to do negotiations with them. Crystal Palace, obviously, we know you're not going to want to pay the 68 million right away. There has to be negotiations. So again, no problem. As long as we have most of these players before preseason, they can take as much time as they want. Usually when you do this, sometimes you lose out on the player, but because we have Andrea Bat and these guys at Arsenal, I'm confident you're going to get the deal done, because it has to have been that they're very sure that you're going to get Gyokeres. That's why they've not been in a rush. They were like, yeah, we're going to get Gyokeres. There's no need to hurry. Let's try and push the fee down for both players and see who you're going to get. So they've been very confident about getting Gyokeres. So they've been doing a good job so far. They've definitely done a good job, especially if you get Gyokeres this week. Yeah, it's been a good job so far, especially if they are able to also get Noni a new contract, then I'd be very happy with that so far. So hopefully we can get the rest of the players. If we add the likes of Eze to that as well, that is a very, very big transfer window for sure. Steve says, I'm watching from Kenya. Arsenal have done so good, Viktor Gyokeres. And Madueke deal, I'm so happy. But now Noni, Martinelli, and Trossard, for me, I just want them to stay. Let's keep the Eze Mosquera deal is good, but for now the deal is now quiet. For Mosquera, yeah, we're expecting to make another bid. So I think us are not in a rush for that as well. The player, again, Mosquera is another player who said he just wants to join Arsenal. He doesn't want to sign a new deal at Valencia. So that basically is almost done as well if the player really wants to join Arsenal. So I guess Arsenal like, okay, we are coming back for you. You really want to join Arsenal? Let's finish some other things here and there, and then we're going to come for you. Rodrygo deal also quiet. Rodrygo, we have to wait for the Club World Cup to end and for Real Madrid to decide that they're going to sell him. And there's nothing we can do with the Rodrygo one. The Gyokeres one, we can do something. Mosquera one, we can do something. Rodrygo, we can't do anything. The player has not said he really wants to leave, and the team has not said they want to sell him. So you just have to wait fast. Suleiman says, good day, Glenn. I don't want all players to stay except those that their contracts have expired, and the injury prone players, those we have overgrown their level. So which players are those? Tomiyasu's left, obviously. I don't think Jesus is going to leave unless he cancels his contract, and we have to pay him if he does that. For Tomiyasu, it was different. Tomiyasu decided to cancel his contract with Arsenal, so there was a mutual agreement. We did not have to pay him anything, just like Willian. But if you cancel Jesus' contract today, you might have to pay him 10 million, 15 million to pay off his contract. So is it worth it doing that? They also have to deal with that too. Now, do we have any other injury-prone players? I mean, Zinchenko might leave. The rest are not going to leave. Calafiori is not going to leave. Obviously, he has had a lot of injuries last season, but he's not going to leave. Are there any others, really? I mean, most of them have left. So, yeah, let's see. I mean, we've been clearing a lot of players, so that is interesting. Players who had been picking a lot of injuries the last 4 or 5 years, they're no longer here. Gyokeres will have a goal in our first game against Man United. That would be great, man, because Man United fans have been so mad that you're getting Gyokeres. They really wanted him there. So let's see how it goes. If we were to sell one between Martinelli and Trossard, then I will go ahead and sell Martinelli because of more money. I would love if you could keep both of them. If you're to ask, because Trossard, you were talking about maybe another extra year for him. For Martinelli, but Trossard has been the better player over the last 2 years. If you look at the numbers, like Trossard is ahead of Martinelli by far. If you look at the goals that they've scored and the assists, I think there's a season Martinelli only had 5 goals or something, I think 2 seasons ago, and Trossard, that's when you're scoring big goals against FC Porto, big goals against Wolves. Basically, Trossard at the end of 2 seasons ago, he was the reason why we got to a Champions League quarterfinal with his goals, and the reason why we were competing for the league title until the final day with Man City. He was scoring some big crucial goals. He also scored against Bayern Munich, I'm sure, Trossard, so he was scoring big goals. I don't think Martinelli has been doing that over the last 2 years. I'm waiting for a striker before getting a new jersey, says Jackson. Hopefully this week can be finalized. Hopefully by today we can get to Here We Go. And okay, after we get to Here We Go, I also don't know how long Arsenal will take before they announce him, because obviously there's the medical, there's the player coming in and doing all the interviews and all of that. That takes a day as well. And then Arsenal obviously takes a couple of more days before they announce players. So in terms of announcing him, maybe at the end of the week or something, depending on when. So let's see. There's a comment on there's a post on when Preseason is going to start. Let me just check that. I have it here somewhere. Just a moment. Yeah. So let me bring this up. This is from these are reports about Arsenal coming back to training. The Arsenal squad are due to meet at Sober Reality Training Center this week for the official start of preseason training after some players took part in an optional camp in Marbella. So the players are coming back this week. I've seen players are still outside England. I think Saka is in Miami. I've seen Saliba somewhere else as well. So these players have been in different places, but hopefully they come back as soon. I'm so happy players like Saka have gotten a rest. I think players like Saka really needed that rest, so I'm happy for him. Players like Declan Rice, they really, really needed that rest. And Timber as well. Hopefully Gabriel, we can hear more reports on him on the injury. We've not heard anything about Gabriel and Timber's injury actually over the last 1 month. Let's wait and see how they're going to recover. But yes, for this training camp, before the players head out to Asia, because I'm sure you're going to play maybe one behind closed doors game before traveling there. Hopefully players like Gyokeres are there. Hopefully by that time he's an Arsenal player. Hopefully by that point, okay, Mosquera doesn't really have to be there because it's just a backup, but hopefully during preseason before the end of the month, Mosquera can be there. I'm sure Nørgaard will be part of that. I'm sure Nørgaard will be there. Obviously Kepa will be there, and we'll get to see Kepa hopefully in a couple of games in preseason. Obviously in preseason you're going to mix up Kepa and Raya, and then we wait and see whether, I don't think Rodrygo will be there in preseason, and I think that is a deal that is going to carry on until the end of the month if it's going to happen. But can we pull out Gyokeres and Eze to that preseason, that would be fantastic. Because we already have Nørgaard, Zubimendi, and Kepa. Can we get Eze and Gyokeres in that camp? And then for the rest, like Rodrygo, I can wait. I can wait for until the end of the month. But if you can get me Gyokeres and Eze before then and get them to adapt to the team, and Zubimendi adapts to the team, and Nørgaard, we see how Nørgaard is going to play with Zubimendi and all of that, that would be fantastic. So we don't have too much time. Players are coming back soon. How are you doing, RK? I'm doing good. Today I hear that we signed a player. I don't know the name exactly. Who is that? If there's a player going to sign, it's only going to be Nørgaard. I don't think there's any other player. By the way, you know Max Dowman, the Arsenal youngster. Let me bring that up as well. You know, Chelsea also want Max Dowman. Chelsea have lost their mind. They want Noni and Max Dowman. You're not going to get Max Dowman from Arsenal, man. That is crazy. That even them considering that is disrespectful. Like, they want Max Dowman, the Arsenal superstar. Why is that comment? Am I going to get it? Let me just search for it. Max Dowman. Chelsea wants Max Dowman. They are crazy. Is it? But Max Dowman, what Max Dowman has done. Max Dowman has actually went and liked a post on Instagram about someone saying that I think he liked FTV's post or something. Let's do this. So, Hand of Arsenal say that during preliminary talks for Noni Madueke, the West London club floated the idea of involving wonder kid Max Dowman in any potential deal. Max Dowman. Chelsea are talking about Max Dowman and Nwaneri. They've lost their mind, man. If you want Max Dowman, you might as well, give us. You can't even give us anyone that is going to fit Max Dowman, unless they go and give us Palma and Gyokeres, both of them, and. The proposal was immediately rejected as Arsenal see him as their crown jewel. As reported yesterday, the fee is crucial to any deal. This guy is actually involving players like Max Dowman in the Madueke deal. They've gone crazy. I think they've gotten too comfortable with Arsenal. They've actually gotten too comfortable with Arsenal. They're like, if Arsenal wants Madueke, let's take Max Dowman or Noni from them. That is crazy, even considering that. That is so crazy. You should not be even. You shouldn't even be in that conversation at all. But you know what Max Dowman did? That post that I've just read for you, FTV posted it on Instagram and said, what are they smoking over there at Chelsea? And guess who liked the post? Max Dowman liked that post of what are they smoking over at Chelsea. Even Max Dowman is wondering what they're smoking at Chelsea, because he's not going to leave Arsenal for Chelsea at all. He's not going to be doing that. So I also don't want to hear anything about Nwaneri. Can we get that thing sorted about Nwaneri? I'm not comfortable at the moment. I still believe Nwaneri is going to stay at Arsenal, but I don't like hearing those things about Nwaneri. I would not like it if Nwaneri ended up at Chelsea. That would be, I don't think there's any single fan. That is the way, for players like, Havertz and Madueke and Gyokeres and Sesko, even Saka, even Martinelli. There's always one person or two people who are like, I don't agree with this. I don't think, even Lewis Kelly, maybe. There's few comments of people saying, give Lewis Kelly to Real Madrid and get us Rodrygo. But I'm sure if I was to ask every single one of you here watching right now, the 150 of you on YouTube and the 100 of you on Facebook, if I was to ask you right now, would you let Nwaneri or Max Dowman go to Chelsea? I think every one of you would say no. I don't think there's anyone who would say, yes, let Max Dowman go to Chelsea or anything like that. No, that would be absolutely crazy. So even considering it, definitely not. You're not supposed to consider it at all. Both of them should stay. We need those youngsters, because not every single time you're going to buy players and it's going to work out and all of that. No, look at Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly is the one that is shining for us right now. So the breaking news today, as I come to the rest of your comments, is Sam C and Fabrizio also reporting that this deal will be done in the next few days. So let me take the rest of your comments. Charles says, I wish you could get the Brighton Japanese wing and Eze. Mitoma would be a lot of money as well. Brighton do not sell their players cheap. They could easily ask you for 90 million for Mitoma. And I think Mitoma said he wants to stay at Brighton from what I read sometime last week. So, but he would be a good option as well, but I still would have the likes of Rodrygo ahead of him. But Mitoma is a very, very good player. If I was to sell, I read that one already. Mubarak says, Mr. Glenn, in Uganda, we are just waiting for the EPL after Andrea and Arteta completed the Gyokeres and Zubimendi deal. Not yet. I still need more. I still need a player like Ez and something more as well. Surprised they didn't ask for Saka in the deal. Yeah, they've lost their mind. They've lost their mind. I wouldn't even agree to even think of. You can tell me get both Palmer and someone else from Chelsea to give them Saka. I would still not say yes. Even if you had to ask me Nwaneri and Palmer, I still wouldn't say yes. You cannot give away players like Nwaneri and Lewis Kelly and players. Those players are 17, 18, and that is how good they are. Did you see the kind of goals that Nwaneri was scoring against Man City last season in the Champions League, against PSV, against Girona in the Champions League, away games, those tough away nights in the Champions League, the kind of goals Nwaneri was scoring, cutting into his left foot, and you just know it's going to be on target. You don't get that easily. And I'm so happy Lewis Kelly signed a new contract. That is not a player you can also let go of at all. And Max Dowman, you also have to keep him. You cannot let these players go at all. Not right about None. Hopefully, John, hopefully that is the case. Skelly, None, Dowman, our future. What Arsenal says Chelsea, and they can also learn from players like Saka. I'm doing good, Anthony, and today is the happiest day of my life because of Viktor Gyokeres. Let's wait for that. Here we go. That here we go is going to hit very, very different. Nørgaard is going to be announced very soon. Mosquera, we're still going to need to make another bid. The Mosquera, we've not agreed anything with Valencia yet. The player wants to join Arsenal, though. I'm so much happy about Arsenal process. This summer, I'm watching from Monrovia, Liberia, says Jones. Momo says, I don't think we really need Madueke for now. Arsenal isn't supposed to be Chelsea's a doping ground. I guess they're looking for a backup for Saka. But there's so many other backups I could tell you about, and not 50 million for Madueke. So, yeah, that will be very interesting. And again, they said that someone suggested Madueke to Arteta. So I just don't know, and I just said yes. So I don't know who suggested that. I mean, I guess, again, the transfer is not just done by Bata and Arteta. All these guys that you can see on screen there, they're all involved. The guy on the left side is the head of recruitment at Arsenal. So he has something to do with transfers as well. And now he's going to be the technical director. And there's so many others. Arteta also listens to his coaching staff. Maybe he's talked to Gabriel Heinz already and asked him, who do you prefer in this position? So, yeah, I mean, the goalkeeper that we have right now, we don't have Raya because of Arteta. We have him because of the goalkeeping coach. The goalkeeping coach is the one that told Arteta, let's sign Raya. And Arteta went ahead and signed Raya. So there's a lot of people who are involved in this. But for the Madueke one, still not sure he's going to join us. The player wants to join us. I'm sure Arsenal want him, but it also depends on the money. If they don't budge on the 50 million, maybe you're not going to get him if it doesn't go down to below 50 million. If you touch None, that will be the end of Arsenal for sure. How and why? No. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal the ones who are suggesting letting go of None. Although I've just seen Ghana blog saying, can I get that tweet as well? So you have to do this every time, but I'm sure I've seen Ghana blog saying something about None, and he said that he's a little bit worried that it's not just the agent who's saying something about him. Where is it? Can I get it? Where is it? Oh, come on. Ghana blog. Let's see. And I can see there's news on Eze and Gyokeres and Madueke. Literally, when you start recording, there's still more news that comes out. Where did I see the Ghana blog thing? Basically, Ghana blog said, and Ghana blog from The Athletic, he said that it's not just the agent who's pushing for a move. Nwaneri needs to be convinced that he's going to play next season. I still think that is a bit crazy, though, because I don't think he hasn't been playing. Lewis Kelly and Nwaneri have played more than I expected them to play. That is the truth. But at the end of the season, we wanted him to play more. That is for sure. Then I've got it. So this is what Ghana bloggers had to say. Ethan Nwaneri, on Ethan Nwaneri's contract, I've seen people saying that this is just agent spin and everything's fine. I'm not sure about that. There's definitely an issue here. Am I worried about it? A little, given the complexion of the rest of the transfer picture. So is it a case of Nwaneri also waiting to see whether he's going to be guaranteed a spot as a backup for one of the players? Is he worried that Arsenal are being linked to players like Eze and Rodrygo? There's definitely going to be game time, man. There's a lot of games there. There's a lot of games. I definitely do not want Saka to play every single game like he's been doing the last 5 years. I want us to be rotating Saka, subbing him out in the 65th minute if the game is done, rest Odegaard more times than we've ever done, give None more minutes. I think he played a lot last season. I don't think at any other team you'd have gotten that many minutes, because there's a point where Noni and Lewis Kelly are both starting for us around December, January. And then obviously at the end of the season, Noni did not play a lot. So I don't know. I don't think, surely Noni doesn't want to leave Arsenal. I mean, there could be a chance. You never know. Maybe Noni is thinking, hey, I need to go elsewhere, but not Chelsea. Come on. First of all, Noni is not for sale, but you cannot also tell me that Noni wants to leave Arsenal for Chelsea for game time. Chelsea are not even going to play at all. At least at Arsenal, they're going to play. Chelsea have Neto. They're probably, if they don't sell Madueke, he's going to be there. They have players like Joao Pedro. Nicholas Jackson is there. They have Gil. They have Palmer. They have Enzo's playing in a more forward position these days. They want to bring, I think Andre Santos is there. They want to bring Esteval Willian back. Chelsea have more players than we have. So if you're not going to play at Arsenal, you're not going to play at Chelsea. You can just ask Omari Hutchinson about that. So another thing I'd not like to happen is to see Noni going to waste his career at Chelsea. Madueke should not be more than between 35 to 45 million. I think that is also a lot, to be honest. Anything after that, we should go for Bakayoko. For me, I'm thinking about 25 million. Really want to hear legit news about Gyokeres. Everything you're hearing about Gyokeres is legit, and when it's coming from David Ornstein and Fabrizio and Hand of Arsenal, it's probably going to happen. His agent always plays these games. He's notorious for it. Yeah, but you never know. Maybe I'd like to imagine he wants to stay at Arsenal, though I don't think a player like this, I mean, Arteta is the one who gave Noni a chance to begin with when he was 15 years of age, and we've been using him a lot, and we've been playing these guys in big games against Man City and such. Arsenal should do everything it takes to keep Ethan. Losing Chido Obi Martin and Heaven was very painful. In terms of physicality, confidence scale is streets ahead of Noni. That is true. In terms of physicality, yeah, is nowhere near him. Noni just has to shape up, get the gritty and bossy in his position, and he will be a regular soon. His position, though, is Saka and Odegaard. So I don't think he's going to be like a start or anything, but he's going to get regular minutes. I think he got a lot of minutes than expected last season, so I don't think there should be a reason why he should be leaving Arsenal right now. You know, if after 2 years, if he signs a new contract and then after 2 years he's not been playing at all, like Emil Smith in his last season, then you can ask to move on. But as of now, there's still so many Arsenal still looking for attackers, and he's obviously going to play a part in that for sure. I don't know why he would want to leave. But yeah, Ghana Block says he's a bit worried about that. So let's see how it goes. Noni should sign, and I wouldn't be against a loan. A loan. I'm still not sure about that, man. I want these players to stay. I don't think I'm looking at Noni and Lewis Kelly as players who need loans. The loan players are the players who are not getting a lot of game time at all, or the players who are coming back from injuries, or the players who are very, very young and they need some game time. Noni has still been playing a lot of games for Arsenal. He's played a lot of games for Arsenal. Even if he didn't play the last 2 months, he still played a lot of games for Arsenal last season. So he's definitely going to be part of the team, and him and Lewis Kelly are promoted so quickly. So let's see how it goes. Let's wait and see more news on Gyokeres and Madueke, and as I've seen some updates, so we'll have another video coming up. As of now, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.